Hello everyone, my name is Shambhavi and today we are going to discuss about some of the topics. Okay, so just let me tell you that what are the topics that we are going to discuss today, and they are named as enumerate functions. Then we are going to see the join function. After that we are going to see the main function in Python, and at last we are going to see that can we use for and else together. If yes, then how, and if not, then why we can't use for and else together. So basically these are all of the topics which we are going to discuss today, which I have just now named, right? So just let's get started with discussion of all these topics. Okay, so let's firstly discuss about the enumerate functions. That what are these enumerate functions? Okay, let's say okay, basically let me just write the code, and after that I would just with that code only I would explain you. Let's say I'm making a list here, okay? So let's say I'm making a list, and that list contains of some elements, and they are just named as book, and then I have copies, and then I have pencil. Other than that, I even have eraser. Okay, so just let me write the correct ones. Okay, so basically what here I have done, I have made a list. Now what is a list and how we make the list? For this I had already made a video, so you can just go and have a look over that videos. Okay, so here just okay, just let me give a brief revision this side that whenever we use these large brackets, so you can just say that they are big brackets. Whenever we use something like this, and inside that whenever we write some string or numbers or something like that, so that are called as list. So basically there, like here what we are doing, we're just making a list. Okay, now what here I have done, I have just taken a variable that is a1, and I have stored this list in my variable that is a1. Okay, now let's move to forward, and here I would write b is equal to 1. Okay, b is equal to 1. Now why I have written this, I will let you know in a little time. So now I would be using my for loop. Okay, so if I just say, if I write for item in a1, okay, for item in a1, let's say I want to access all of the elements which are just present in my a1 variable. Okay, now again this is the for loop, and this is how basically we use for loop. And on for loop also I have just made the video, so you can just go and have a look over that one. Okay, so for item in a1, now here I will just give some condition. Okay, I will just give some conditions. If b percent 2 is equal to 0. Okay, let's say if my b percent 2 is equal to 0. Now just let's put this colon, then print. Now here I would be using one of the if strings. Okay, now I would be writing if, and here I would be writing give me, and in the brackets I would be writing I. Okay, now just let me quickly give you the brief revision for if string. That if strings are the ones that I use to if you use if in the starting, and after that you put the semicolons and basically write the curly braces inside that if you write any variable. So basically that variable name gets printed, right? So this I have already, we have discussed about all of these things in a very detail, right? So here what I have done, I have just used my for loop for item in a1. Now a1 is my list. Okay, I have just applied one condition. If b percent 2 is equal to 0, then give me item. Okay, now I would be just coming out, and here I would be applying the b plus is equal to 1. Okay, and okay, b plus is equal to 1. So here I have done. Now just let me comment, and let me just tell you that if someone writes b plus is equal to 1, something like that, okay, something like this, if someone writes, that means just b is equal to b plus 1. Okay, this one is the use of assignment operators. Okay, so this basically is a short form for writing this one. Okay, so this is done. Now this is my program which I have just written here, right? So let's say this is my program, and here what I have done, I just wanted to print those elements which are having the you can say which are having which are having odd numbers. Okay, here what is my condition, that if b percent 2 is equal to 0. Let's say, yeah, right, I have written if b percent 2 is equal to 0. So I have what I have stored, I in b I have stored a value as 1. Okay, so my this 1, and then it this condition would be false for 1 and 3. Okay, so my condition would be false for 1 and 3, but it would be true for 2 and 4, because 2% 2 is equal to 0. So here what I have done, I have just written the condition. If 2% 2 is equal to 0, then print me that, give me that item where the index is index is even number. Okay, so now when we are just going to run this one, so okay, So what output did I get? Give me copies and give me eraser. Now let's just see that how we got this one. So here I got give me copies and give me eraser. Okay, so here I have just written give me item. Now just have a look. I have written that B is 1. Okay, my books would be belonging to 1, then copies would be 2, pencil would be 3, and eraser would be 4, right? So here when I just applied this condition, if B percent 2 is equal to 0, right? So that means my B is having some you can say even values. Okay, like my books is having a 1 index, my copies is having a second value, right? So when 2% 2 is equal to 0, so this condition became true, and just it got inside my loop. So in my condition, what I have written, print f and give me item, right? So give me, and inside that item, what I have written copies. So that means just give me copies. So it would be true for copies and it would be true for eraser. I hope you just got the point that what I have just done here, right? Now, this one is the program in which I need to use for loop, and after that I need to use this condition, and it is a little bit big one, right? So let's say I've just taken a very simple question here, but let's say if we want to do something like something more complicated, something like that, so that this might be a very big program, right? So now for that, what I can do. So here comes the role for the use of enumerate functions. So this is a way where we use enumerate functions. Just let's go and see how we use these enumerate functions. Okay, so for using that enumerate function, what I would write for index, comma, item in enumerate. So basically this enumerate is used whenever I want to use this whenever I used to make this enumerate function, use this enumerate function. So basically this enumerate keyword is used. Okay, so what I have written for index and item in enumerate A1. So basically we have already declared this A1 above side. So A1 was having a list, and that list consists of book, copies, pencil and eraser, right? So here what I have done, I have written for index in the sense that whatever is the index for my values of A1, and item. Now item are books, copies, pencil and eraser. In enumerate and in bracket I wrote A1. Okay. Now A1 is my list that I have done. Now I will go beside and I will write if index percent, and okay, where is my percent? Index percent 2 is equal to 0, right? And here I would write int, and I would apply that if string, and I would, let's say, write give me item. Okay, I would be just writing this item inside this brackets. Okay, now this is my complete program. So here I have completed this thing in the 3 lines, which I was just using 4 to 5 lines to do above. And let's just see that what's the thing here. I would be getting the same output this side also. Okay, sorry. Give me books and give me pencil. Okay, so here what I have done, I have just written that. Okay, so I'm sorry, here we haven't used that B. I just forgot that. Here we have used the index one. Okay, now the condition what I have given, if index percent 2 is equal to 0, print give me item. Okay. So here what it is printing me books, copies, pencil and eraser. Now how I am getting these things? Okay, let's see that how we are just getting. So here my index starts from 0, right? So if we have in the list, so index starts from 0. So books is having a index of 0, and what is my condition? If index percent 2 is equal to 0, right? So this would be 0, always this would be 0. So it just printed me give me books. Now my copies is referring to 1 this side. Okay, other than that my pencil is having again the index 2. So as soon as it got inside my condition, so here it is, if 2% 2 is equal to 0, then print give me item. So basically here I got the output as give me pencil, because they both are having 0 and 2 indexes. Books is having an index of 0, copies having index of 1, pencils having index of 2 and eraser having index of 3. So basically this was about the enumerate function, that when above we wanted to print the numbers, print the items which are present at the even positions, we just use one more variable, and other than that we need to apply some conditions, and then we need to do increment and other things also. But when we use this enumerate function, so we need not to do all these things. We simply write for index comma item in enumerate. Okay, so this is the enumerate which I was just telling you about, and here inside the bracket we just write the variable name. Other than that, inside this for loop, I just put the condition that if index %2 is equal to 0, then print and return me the item. Okay, so whatever is the item, in whatever place of the index the value is, if something %2 is equal to 0, then return me those things. So here in the output I got books and pencil. Okay, so I hope you just got the point about the enumerate functions, are like what are these enumerate functions and how basically they work. Okay, now, so this was about the enumerate function. Now let's move towards the join function. Now we will be seeing that what is a join function. Okay, so this one. Now I am just using, and just let me zoom. Now I'll be writing some more code for like explanation of the join function, right? Now let's say here also I would just make a list, and my list like variable would be list1, and inside this, let's say I just store a list. Let's say I would be writing A comma B, and let's erase that. Let's say I would be writing pencil. Okay, so pencil, then I would be writing apple, then I would be, okay, let's remove this comma, then I would be adding pen, then I would be adding, let's say, eraser. Okay, let's say these are all the 4 things which I just stored in my list. So here I just taken a variable that is list1, and inside that I had just taken one more, like I had just made a list, and I have used this big bracket. Inside that I have just used pencil. Okay, I stored four items, which are pencil, apple, pen and eraser. Okay, this is done. Now what I need to do is that if I need to just join all of these, now what I would be doing, just I'm sorry for that. Okay, now if let's say I want to add these things, now what I would be doing here, I would be writing for item in list1. Okay, I will be writing for item in list1 print. Let's say I want to print the item, so I will writing print item. I would be separating a comma. I would writing and again I would be putting a comma, and here I will be writing end is equal to, and let's say this. Now let's say we have just seen all these things, and now if I just want to separate, I want to add and between all of these. So what I will do, I will just apply this for loop in which I will be writing for item in list1 print item, and I would be adding that end, and here I will be leaving this blank spaces, right? So this is done. But here I haven't used my join function, but I just wanted to tell you a way that even like this also, if you want to add using and, so this is the way also you can add. So what is this? Pencil and apple and pen and eraser and. Okay, so let's do one thing. Let's give a little bit of space this side, and now let's run the program. Okay, so now I'm getting everything like in a very finer way. So it is showing me pencil and apple and pen and eraser and like this all things. Okay, now this is done. But here what I have done, I haven't used my like join function, and here for like without using that join function, I need to use my for loop, right? Now if I want to do and continue the same thing using my join function, now what I would do, let's go downside, and here I would be writing, okay, here I will be writing, let's say I would take a variable, okay, that is s is equal to, I would be putting a semicolon. So now let's say I want to just separate them using comma, I would be writing comma. Now here I will be using a function that is called join. Now what my join function would do, my join function would like combine all of these values with the comma. So like the output would be pencil comma apple comma pen comma eraser. Okay, it would be something like that. Now if I just want to print that, I would write print, and in the brackets let's say I want to print s. Okay, so this is done. And even if I want to print my list1, okay, now just let's run this once. Okay, so this is my list in which I just I just got this comma separated values, right? So this one is the thing which here I got. This is my comma separated values which I just told you, right? Now if I just want to join them using a dot or something else, so I can just mention that thing here. Now if I want to add something at the last, let's say this was the list, right? So this was, okay, just let me go this side down. Okay, this was the list, pencil, apple, pen and eraser. Okay, now let's say I just want to add something more. Okay, let's say I want to add print s comma, and I would let's say add one more is left, and let's say I would write that is E. Okay, let's say I would write that is E. Now when I am just gonna run this one, just let me comment this out and let's run it once. Okay, I'm sorry. So here we need to just print that list also. And now when I am going to run this, okay, now just see above, just see above that what is happening. And let me just like maximize this one. And let's go and see here that when I'm just using this pen and pencil and apple and pen eraser, then one more is left. Okay, what I need to do here is that just let me comment the above thing. Okay, let's comment this one. That is why like the output is. Okay, I'm sorry. I need to just comment this one. So let's do that. Okay, fine. Now let's once run it. Okay. So now just see the output. Now it's totally fine. So here the output which I'm getting is pencil, comma apple, comma pen, comma eraser. And here what I am getting after eraser, I am getting one more is left, that is E. So now just from where did I get? So this is the like this sixth number line which is just printing that. So here what I have done, I have just taken a variable that is S. Okay. Now after taking that variable, what I have done, I have just put this equal to sign. I have put these semicolons, and inside these semicolons what I have done, I have put a comma, right? Now after putting this comma, I just use a function that is join. So inside that join, I just use that variable where I have stored my list. So for me that variable was list1, right? So after using that, what I have done, I have just used this print, and after print I have written S. Okay, here I have just written S, that is my this variable in which I am just storing this join function, and I have put one more is left, that is E. Let's say I want to just print this statement also afterwards, that is one more is left, that is E. Okay, and then print list1. So as soon as I'm doing this, I'm getting that pencil, comma apple, comma pen, comma eraser. So this all is done using the sixth line where I have written in print S. So there it is like doing something like that. It is differentiating and separating all the values using a comma, and after that whatever the sentence I have written, it is just printing that sentence. Okay, so this is basically how we use a join function. Basically this is used for joining the you can say values or items which are present in your list. Okay, so this is the main function of this join function. So we have just studied about the enumerate function and join function. Let's move towards the for and else condition, and after that we are going to see the main function for the Python. Okay, now my first question is that like in the starting what I asked was for and else. Can for and else be used together? Yes, they can be used. Now if they can be used, so how they can be used? So let's get started after like for seeing that how this for and else, both of these conditions can be used together, because for is a loop and else is a condition, right? Because for we have just studied that for is a loop and else is a condition. So basically how they can be used together, let's see that. Let's say I want to make I have made a variable that is A. Okay, and in that variable what I have done, I have just stored my name. Okay, so this is basically a string, right? So here I have just written a string and I have stored this string in a variable that is A. Now if I just want to access this string, so what I would do, I would write for ch in A, and I would put this semicolon and I would write print A. Okay, so this is the like basic way for printing the, if you want to just print something, if you have written any characters, right? If you have written any characters and store that in a variable, so what you do, we basically write for ch like ch is the character for ch in A, and here we just print that statement. So if I'm gonna do this one, so it is absolutely printing me this Shambhavi. So it is just printing me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That after that like nine times. Okay, so it just printed me that thing. Now what I need to do here is that, let's say I want to just, okay, now here I can just use one of my else condition and I can just write print this statement ended properly. Now when I am going to run this, so what output I am getting here, just see, have a look at the last side, at the downside, very downside, I am getting that this statement ended properly. Now what does this mean? Now let me just explain. So here I have written, taken a variable that is A and stored a like string that is Shambhavi in that variable. After that I used my for loop and I printed my name. Done. After that I used my else condition. So whenever I have just taken a variable and like I have written some loop, so it will just go inside this thing. Okay, that is I have used for chna. This will go just inside this thing, it will print, and after that coming out of this for loop, it will go into my else condition. So after going into my else condition, it will print that this statement ended properly, that is there is no of the error, and like at last it is going at my else statement, and I have written this statement ended properly. Okay, so I hope you just got the point. Okay, let's say I just make an error this side. Okay, let's say I add b, because we haven't written any b inside our program. So see, here I just got the output. I got the output name b is not defined, but I haven't got my else part executed also. Why? Because my for loop does not work, like it hasn't worked, it has some errors, and that is why my else part also did not work. So what I just wanted to convey here is that if your for loop and like whatever you are any condition or whatever any loop, if you are using just above the else condition, so if that condition and like that loop works properly, then only the above execution will be finished. After that, your control will go into the else condition, and then only it will print that this statement ended properly. So what I just mean to say from here is that your first loop or first condition, whatever you're writing, that should be absolutely correct. Then only your last would be printed. Otherwise, it will like show an error. And after showing that error, your control would not go into your else part. Okay, so I hope just I have made this clear to you. Let's take one more example for demonstrating this thing. Okay, let's go down and let's do one more example. Let's say I again have taken a list here. Let's say my list is again a list 1, and here in the bracket, let's say I want to store something. I would write 1, then I would store 2, then I would store 3, and let's say I would store 4 also. Okay, I would write 4. Let's say I had just made a list here, and the variable for that is list1, and inside that I have stored these 4 items. Now I just want to access this, so I would write for item in list 1, and I put the semicolon, and after that I would write print item. Okay, so this is how basically if you want you can to print item. After that, if let's say I put a break statement, here I am just taking a little bit complicated program. Okay, let's say I just put a break statement. After what I did, I write if item is equal to 1. Let's say if my item is equal to 1, let's say O is capital, then what to do? Let me go down. Let's say if item is equal to 1, then break that statement from there itself. Okay, and after coming out, now what to use? Now use this else condition here, else print, and I would just again write the same thing, that this loop ended properly. Okay, properly. So this was my program which I just wrote. Now just let me quickly explain you the program, that what it is like saying. So it is saying that list 1, like here I have just made a list, that is list 1, and in that I have just stored this list, that is 1, 2, 3 and 4. Other than that, I just want to access the elements of that list. So what I used the for loop for item in list 1, print item. Okay, and I just break that statement from there itself. After that, I have just added a condition. If item is equal to 1, then break the statement from here itself. Okay, and after coming out a whole of my loop, what I have used my else condition, else print this loop ended properly. Now what is the basic use of this break statement? Now I'm not going to discuss this topic here because I have already discussed this in my previous videos. So like you can just go and have a look over that videos for the proper explanation of this break statement. So here it just gave me the output as 1. Okay, now because why it just gave me the output as 1? Because I just use this break statement, right? If I am going to use this break statement, so it is just not going to go and execute that else part. It just gave me the output here as 1. Now just let's say if I just do not comment, okay, let's comment this thing, and now if I run my program, so now what I am going to get? Now just have a look and just let me like increase this thing. Now just have a look. Now here what I got 1, 2, 3 and 4, and after that what I got this loop ended properly. So now here I got the output from the for loop also, and even I got the output from the else condition also. Now I hope you just got the point about the use of for and else together, and basically why you can use this for and else together. Let me once more explain this program to you. That is, here I had taken a list, that is list 1. Other than that, I have just stored this list. Now, if here, let's say if I write for item in list one print item, let's say if I want to just access every element of this item, I would use this. Now, if I'm just using this break statement, after using this break statement, my control will not go into my else part. It will automatically go out and just print me that thing only. So here also what I have written, if item is equal to 1, then break. So as soon as my item became 1, it just break my loop, and break means that it would just like control would come out of my loop. It would like not go into the else part also. So that is why it just not printed me that this loop ended properly. But as soon as I commented all these three statements, that is break, if item equal to 1, and break. So when I run that, so it basically give me all the 4 items, and other than that, at the last it just gave me this loop ended properly, right? So basically this is the use of for and else together. Now we just move towards our main function, which I was just talking about, use of main function in Python. Okay, so basically how we use them. So like when we like you have even like I don't know have you studied about C and C++ or not, but in C we have just void main, int main, and in C++ also we have just void main, int main. So basically these are the main functions. Okay, now like in that manner only in Python also we have a main function, but that main function is written as if underscore underscore name underscore is equal to main. Okay, just let me do one thing. Okay, let's explain this thing in a very detail. Here, let's say I made a function. My function name is def function, and in bracket I just pass the string. Okay, after that what I did, I just used my return, and here I just use my return if string Shambhavi is a good girl, and in bracket I just return my string. So this is the basic thing which we all know. Now just let me do one thing. Let me comment this thing. Okay, done. Now, here what I have done, I have just used my function, def function, in bracket I have used a string. Return if Shambhavi is a good girl, and in bracket return that string. Okay, let me comment this thing also, and let's run this one, def function, right? So when I am going to run this, okay, I'm sorry, I just need to write something here. Let's say I would be writing, okay, I have even written that this side, so just let's copy this one, okay, let's copy this thing and let's paste it this side. Okay, now as soon as I am like I have written and I would run the program, so it would just return me that Shambhavi is a good girl, and after that it just return me sentence completed. So because like here I have used that def function, in that function I have just passed a string, right? And inside going inside that function, here I have used a return statement. After that I have used a if string, and Shambhavi is a good girl, in bracket I have just used a string. So basically what is my string? My string is sentence completed, because here I just called my function, and inside that function calling I have used sentence completed, right? So I just got the output that Shambhavi is a good girl, sentence completed. So this is done. Like this was the basic program how we just like make a function. If you want to execute any string, we do that like that. Okay, here what I have done, I have just made one more function, that is add, and here I have passed two values, that is a1 and a2, like they're called the parameters, passing parameters to a function. And then what I have done, I have just returned this statement. Okay, that is return a1 plus a2 plus 10. Now if I just want to execute this also, what I would do, okay, I would just copy this one, and I like let me just paste it here, and okay, this side also. Okay, now just let's quickly run this one, and I would be getting the output as 40, because here in the A I have passed 10, and here in the A1 I have passed 10, and A2 I have passed 20, and other than that what I have done, A1 plus A2 plus 10. Okay, so it is giving me the output as 40. Now done. So now what I would be doing, right? Now let's say I just want to use this function in my next program. Let's say I just made one more you can say file here. Okay, now what I need to do is that, let's say if I want to use this function in my next program, only this function. Okay, so here what I did, I just made import, I just write tutorial 31 initial. Okay, so my tutorial 31 initial is my file name. So basically if like I don't know you can just see or not, like, but here my file name is tutorial31 initial.py. Okay, .py is the extension. So what I did, I just imported my tutorial31 initial in my another file, in my another Python file. Now I only want to use my add function. Okay, my let's say I want to use that add function. So this is my add function. Okay, I use that add function. Now what I would do, I would write print in bracket. I would write my, you can say, my file name. My file name is tutorial 31 initial. I would use this dot, and other than that I would use the inbuilt function. Sorry, here this is the function which we have just built. Okay, so this is a user defined function, that is add, and I would pass some values at 40 comma 40. Now when I am going to run this one, now just have a look what I am getting. I what I have done, I have used only my add function, right? I have made here two functions. The first was name was function, second name was add. I have, but in this like 31 final, what I have done, I have just used one of the function, that is tutorial 31 initial dot, and here I have used add. But when I am just running this, so why I am getting all of the things which I just got in my previous one. So I have used the Shambhavi in my function. Shambhavi is a good girl in my previous file. I got this 40 because of my previous program, and even I got this 90 of this one. So here this 90 is coming, but what to do of these two things? So this is the main issue. This was the main issue basically. If you want to just import that your another file in some of the files, and like you want to use some function, any of the functions, so basically all of the functions were just giving the output and returning the output. So now here comes the role for using if that main function of Python. So what is the main function of Python? Let's just see. So this is how you write main function in Python. Okay, so now let me just tell you the way for writing the main function. So as soon as you're going to write main in like main, and so this like something would come here, and as soon as you're going to enter, you will just get the whole main function. That is like, this is the main function which we use in Python. So this is done. Now if I just want to use that function, I would write if name, if underscore name underscore is equal to main. Now here just let's do one thing. Just remove this thing and even remove this one. Okay, so let's make the program as it was previously. So I have done that. Now what I have done, I have just used my function inside this one. Print function sentence completed. A is equal to add 10 comma 20 and then print A. Now when I am going to run this one, so here I just got that output which is here, that is Shambhavi is a good girl, sentence completed and 40. Now if I am going to run my final one, that is like I have just named as tutorial 31 final. Now see what output I am getting. So basically I am getting only and only 90 here. Now rest the things which I was getting, that was 40 and Shambhavi is a good girl, sentence completed, that is not appearing here. Why? Because I have used this main function here. So what is the use of main function? Let's say you are just let's say you have made a file and two files just are having absolutely same names, and if you want to use one function of first file into the second file, okay, let's say you want to do this, so there you would be needing main function, because the only the function that you are using, you want that to be executed, right? You need not you will not want that whatever all the functions are used in my program in my first file, that should be executed, right? So that is why you just use this main if name is equal to main function. So basically what it does, it just restrict the output. Restrict the output in the sense, whatever the program and whatever the function you are just calling in your another file, it would just print you that output only. Neither it will give you all of the outputs, right? So this is the thing which which is the use of main function. So this is the main motive that why we use this main function. Okay, so here what we have done, we have just made two functions. The first function was the name, like name is only function, and other than that what we have done here, I have just returned a f string, return f, and here Shambhavi is a good girl and string. So this is done. Now here what I have done, I have just written def add a1 comma a2 and then return a1 plus a2 plus 10. Now this is done. After that I have used my main function. So my main function restricted the control, restricted the output. So basically whatever is the function that I'm just calling in my next program, next file, that only function would be executed. It is not the case that whole of my functions would be executed and I would be getting whole of the outputs. No, the function that I am calling, that would only be executed. So this is the basic use for the main function, right? So today what we have discussed about enumerate functions, for and else, then we have discussed about the main function and then join function. So let's have a quick recap for all of these things. So basically in the enumerate function, what we have done, we have just made one of the list, right? So that list was book, copies, pencil and eraser. Now, if I just want to access those elements of my list which are having index as even, because here the condition which I have given if b%2 is equal to 0, right? So, and I have assigned my value of b as 1. So b%2 is equal to 0 is the condition for the numbers which will it is a condition for the even numbers, right? So here I just wanted to print the items which are present at the even position, even index of my list. So here when I just use that for item in A1, if b%2 is equal to 0, print f string and I just print give me item. Okay, and other than that, what I just did the increment b plus is equal to 1. Now, if I want to do the same thing using the enumerate function, so what I would do, I would write for index comma item in enumerate, and in bracket I would pass A1. Now A1 is my name of the variable in which I have just stored my list. Okay. So I just write for item for index comma item in enumerate 1, and that is A1. If index %2 is equal to 0, that is here what I have done, I haven't initialized any variable before I haven't initialized any variable before and I just assigned it a value. No, I haven't done like that. Here what I have done, I have simply written for index and comma item in enumerate A1. So that is it. It is just index accessing the real index, whatever are the real index, that is 0, 1, 2, 3. So basically the first index in the list start from 0, right, and it goes till n. So here it is showing if index %2 is equal to 0, print f string and give me item. So after that, when I have just used that, I just got the output, and this was the use of the enumerate function. So how we use them in Python programming. After that, we have just discussed about the join function. So what is the join function? As we can just read from the name only, it is used to join some things, right? So join function is used to join. Let's say here also I have just made a list, that is list 1, and in that I just pass some elements that are pencil, apple, pen and eraser. Okay, these were the 4 elements which I have passed. Now I wrote for item in list 1, print item comma and comma end. So here if I just want to put something, or you can say join this function for using and, so I would be just using my for loop, and then inside this print statement I would be writing item, then and then end. Okay, but using this join function the things are very easy. So here if I can write s is my one of the variables in which I have taken, I would write s is equal to, I would put these semicolons. Okay, that semicolons, and I would put a comma. Now this comma is I want to separate these values using this comma. So I have just used this comma here, and then I have used s is equal to comma dot join, and here in the bracket I have used list 1, right? And after that what I have done, I have just used print, and there I used s comma 1 more is left, that is a. So as soon as I just run my program, after running my program, I got pencil comma apple comma pen comma eraser, and after eraser what I got one more is left than e. Okay, that is E. And even in this for item in list 1, when I was just accessing this using for, so when I had just used this and, so my and was even coming at the last. So it was something like pencil and apple and pen and eraser and. But when I just use this comma using my join function, so this comma is not coming at the end. It is like giving the output as pencil comma apple comma pen comma eraser, and after that it is printing me one more is left, that is E. So basically this is the how we use join function. Okay, then we have just discussed about the for and else condition. So yes, we can use for and else condition together, and the way is that you just take a variable that is A. Okay, and what I have done, I have just stored a string in this variable, that is Shambhavi. Other than that, I have used for ch in A. Now ch is if you want to just access any of the strings using for loop, use something like this. Okay, for ch in A, it just print A, and after that it just use the s and print this statement ended properly, right? So this is the use of for and else together. And in the second example, what I have done, I have written list 1 is equal to 1 comma 2 3 4. I have just taken a list. After that I just use my for loop, and I wrote that items, printed that items. And here what I have done, I have used even my one of the conditions for if, and after that I use break. So here what we have seen, if you are just using this break statement, so after that your else condition is not executed. Okay, and if you in a program you're not using this break statement, your program, like your, if your whole concept for the program, and if there are no errors in the starting, so your else part would also be executed. Now using for this break statement, I have already explained this in one of the videos, so you can just go ahead and have a look over that videos. Okay, now the last thing which we have discussed is main function. So basically what is this main function? Main function, if you want to just use any one of the function in any second file. Let's say my first file is Python 31 initial and my second file is Python 31 final. If you just want to use one of the functions in another of the file, then we use if name is equal to main. So basically what it does, it just like restricts the control of your program. Control of the program in the sense, let's say I just want to use this add function in my second file, that is file 31, and here I just imported that first of my file, and from that file I just want to use this add function. Okay, so what I would do, I would just write this main function, I would just declare the calling of my functions inside this main function. So here what I have done, I have just used my print statement, in that I have used function, then I have written sentence complete, and even I have used my add function. So basically here what I have done, I have done the calling of both of the function, that that was function and add. So when I have just done the calling, so here when I am just using my add function, okay, so it is just restricted the control. So it is like in this file from 31 initial, it is just going for this add, and like here even I have passed the values that are 40, 40. So it is just resulting with the 90 output. So let's once run it. So yeah, it is just giving me the output as 90. And why 90? Because like if you have just noticed, so in the above I have return a1 plus a2 plus 10. Okay, so this is the use of the main function. So I hope it has got all the topics which we discussed today, and they were something as enumerate functions, for and else, then main function, and after that we just discussed about the join function. So these were the 4 functions which we have just discussed in today's video. I hope you got a proper idea and proper things about this, and if you have any doubts, you can either rewatch the videos or you can ask your doubts in the comment box. So this is all for this video. Till then, thank you and bye bye.